Round 8, we saw Sean Smith lead the final 27 laps at Kansas to win his first ever race in the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. Well, he was a sure underdog coming into Kansas, but he sure didn't look like one after he took the lead and kept growing his lead to almost 4.5 second lead over Derek Roffling. Sean Smith has now clinched himself into the playoffs and looking to continue his success at Chicagoland. Welcome to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series Countdown to Green show, and I've got alongside me today two-time winner in the series, Patrick Day, and owner and operator of Miller Time Motorsports, Chris Miller. Guys, round 9. We're getting so close to this playoffs. How are we doing on a Wednesday night?
I'm doing great, Ryan. Congratulations to Sean Smith. Yeah, way out left field for that win coming through, but he ran a great race, kept his truck clean, and yeah, we didn't have anything for him at the end. He was able to save his tires great, and he ran a great race. That was awesome on him. Yeah, excited for Chicagoland tonight. We had a good race at Chicagoland last season, only 3 cautions for 10 laps, so I'm hoping we have something very similar here tonight, and we have a lot of green flag runs. It's going to be a fun race.
Yeah, good evening, guys, and congrats to Sean. Like you said, Patrick, I'm back there used to riding around with Sean and Kyle both. It's kind of the Miller brothers and the Smith brothers back in the back, and kind of come out of nowhere. But when you watch the replay, Brian, you've seen it live. I was in the truck, but you watch the replay, he was dominant after that last green flag stop. So congrats to him, and my teammate Derek comes up just short again, but I think he's moving inching closer to that cut line. Maybe he can get there in the last 2 races.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at this race, and it was nice that we seen that green flag pit stops, and that really kind of made the difference in this whole race. And Sean Smith just kind of landed it right, and he played it right. And at first, we on the broadcast, we was looking at it, we was like, man, Derek Roffling may just have it timed out right. It looked like he was going to be the one that was going to come out with this lead and potentially run away with it, maybe get himself locked into the playoffs, which is what he really needed. But Sean Smith also needed that exact same thing, and he's the one that comes out on top. And we say that was a true underdog, and that is an underdog story because, like Chris said, he's normally back in the back, racing around you guys. And so, yeah, really sweet to see when you see someone like that get the victory. We've seen 134 laps there. We've seen 7 cautions in the race, and 19 lead changes during that race, with Sean Smith getting the victory. He led the last 27 laps, the most important part of the race, and continued to grow that lead like we kind of talked. Kyle Wellman, he looked strong early in this race. He had led 24 laps in this race, not able to get the victory, but he does get a top 5 here. He does finish 4th at Kansas. A couple other guys that did lead some laps. Derek Roffling, of course, he was up there. He led 8 laps. You had Brent Butler. He was up there. He led 2 laps on the event. You had PJ Popham. We've been talking about PJ. He's been up there running with some of these guys up front recently. He led 15 laps in this race. He finished in the 7th spot. Daniel Quigley, he actually got himself a lead a lap there for your team there, Patrick Day. And take a look at some of these other guys. Robert Smith, he led 3 laps on the event. Timmy Lewis, 15 laps. Frank Klein, 3 laps. 26 laps led by Austin Palmer early in that race. He looked pretty good, but as it started to be a green flag pit stop, he messed up his pit stop, and that ultimately hurt him as he en route to a 16th place finish. You had Michael Timmerman that he put in 5 laps that he led. And a lot of that was when the lead changes were happening. They were trying to get out there, stay out there, and get those laps led. So that's how they were able to get it. But guys, I mean, you guys kind of watched that race. Yes, Sean Smith was a shocker. But when we look at it, how did he have such momentum at the end of the race versus everybody else and continue to knock down times that nobody in the top 5 was able to really do? What was it?
The only thing I could surmise looking at it is his fastest time the whole race was like with 31.0, right? When everybody else's fastest lap was 30.8 or 30.7, the only thing I can say is that he was just taking care of his tires better than everybody else, right? He was running at a good pace, but not a real fast pace, not abusing his tires, and they stayed more steady across the whole run compared to the rest of us. So good on him, definitely good on him.
Man, it's crazy. Chris, what do you think?
I don't know. We'd have to have Sean on the show to ask him. I mean, he pulled away from everybody. I think when we did the green flag pit stops, I think Derek came out, cycled through, and Derek had like a 2.5 second lead on Sean. So then Sean ends up beating him by 4.5 seconds. So, I mean, he was absolutely just flying that entire time in those final 27 laps, really the final 40 laps, because we're talking from the last pit stop. But you mentioned we had 7 cautions, Ryan, and that was all very early on in this race. I think, what did we go green from? Probably, what was that, like lap 60 or something?
No, it was lap 50-ish, right around there.
Yeah. It was fairly early. I mean, we were getting to the point where if we could have added another 10 laps on this race, we probably were looking at another green flag pit stop in there. So, yeah. I mean, that was amazing to see that. But I got another question for you, okay? So, Derek came out with that 2-second lead, and you thought, okay, well, he's probably got this thing. I mean, you felt good about it, but for some reason, Sean Smith comes around and passes him. So I want you to think about this. Okay, so Sean Smith's fastest lap in the race was a 31.045. That came on lap 8. Okay, Derek Roffling, his fastest lap in this race was a 30.664, a lot faster than Sean Smith. His best lap came on lap 26, really early in the run. But late in the run, when he had the lead, where was the speed from Derek Roffling? It wasn't there. But yet, Patrick Day, you had your fastest lap on lap 93 at a 30.516. What's the difference here? Why wasn't Derek able to go out there and run some fast laps that he was able to do early in the race?
I mean, mine was definitely a drafting lap. That was probably a drafting lap for him. He just didn't have the same type of conditions later in the run. But that's definitely why Sean outlasted us. I mean, we were abusing our tires early in the runs, and you actually saw a tenth or two fall off after 3 or 4 laps that you run on these tires, right? So, and Sean had 3 or 4 laps newer tires than me and Derek did.
Sure.
So that definitely made a difference as well during the longer run here. The other thing I wanted to mention is everybody. I put up a practice every Tuesday. Guess what? Sean's been coming to every single one of those and running a lot of laps. So that might tell you something.
Yeah, that could be it. That could be a lot of it. I mean, you learn, especially you log a lot of laps, you can tell what that truck's going to do over a long course of a run and really, track that over a long period versus, short segments. Because there's a lot of guys out here that are really fast when it's short segments, right? But when it becomes long, we kind of know who those go-to guys are. And one sitting right here with us, Patrick, you're one of those guys that we know that if this thing goes green for any extended time, you're going to be there. Versus some of these other guys, now we're like, okay, they're going to be backwards. But now maybe, just maybe, this is a highlight for Sean Smith that if these tend to go long green flag runs, that Sean Smith may be one of those guys that is better on long runs versus these short runs. So keep an eye on the 77. If Chicagoland potentially goes long green flags and we have some pit stops in there, don't count him out. I definitely, as a broadcaster, I'm not going to sleep on the 77 because he showed up, and I can say that he has not got the airtime in previous races, but he got a bunch of airtime towards late in that run, and kudos to him. Great job. Great win there. Any other comments on Sean Smith before we move on?
No, just a great job. And I'd like to think that my practices that I put up on Tuesday, like I said, are helping him out. Kind of him and his brother come into those and practice a lot. And, we talk a little bit about strategies and about, how to stay tired while we're there and everything. I share what I do with everybody, right? So try to help out, try to help the race, try to help the broadcast. So the more practice we get, I think the better the races are going to be. So guys, start coming out to those. It'll help.
Chris, got anything?
No, just congrats to him again. That was, I would have counted Sean out when we talk about drivers as far as people that are still out there that could win a race and lock themselves in, and we wouldn't have talked about Sean. And, what a race for him, because in the last 40 laps, it was total domination.
Wild. For somebody, it's a different story when somebody like that just wins Daytona, Talladega. But they come into a race like this, that they have not been on our radar at all. I mean, if I asked either one of you, would Sean Smith finish in the top 5? None of us would pick him. None of us would pick him in our top 3. But when a driver like this comes in to Kansas, out of all places, Kansas, comes into Kansas, and late in that race, absolutely dominates the field like that, unbelievable. Absolutely love to see it. Really cool.
Cinderella story. We love Cinderella stories.
Mm-hmm. and yes, thank you, Patrick, for putting those races on Tuesday. And yes, anytime you can talk to somebody that has done it and has a lot of success with it, Patrick, guys are going to eat that up, and you're going to learn a lot from them, and that's how you get better. And come to them on Tuesday. That's a great way to learn. And yes, you're going to show up on Wednesday nights and and end up being right up there and maybe be a story like Sean Smith here getting the victory at Kansas. So, all right, so let's move on. We do want to mention the points and look at it. So here's how the points kind of look at right now with Patrick Day. You're back on top of the leaderboard with 238. Hunter Lagoons steps down one spot into that second position with a 236. Timmy Lewis locked in 221. Johnny Evans, he's locked in at 215. And Brent Butler at 205, yet to get his win. Another lock in that sixth position, Paul Fly with 201. And then from there down, these guys are not locked in. They're racing in on points right now. And here's how it looks right now with PJ Popham at 118. He continues to climb through that standings. Byron Gay, he's kind of just floated right here in that 6th, 7th, or 7th, 8th, 9th spot. And he continues to stay right here. Byron Gay at 185. Kyle Wellman, there he is in that 9th spot, a 183. Austin Palmer at 172. Then your first guy out as of right now, Nick Galusha. He's in 11th position. 12th, Kyle Smith, sorry. 13th, Frank Klein. 14th, Paul Negus. And then 15th, right there, Sean Smith. Boom! Locked himself in with a win. So, don't matter. From now, he don't have to worry about the points. Got himself locked in. That's where some of these guys in this red definitely needs that win. Derek Roethling needs a win. Steve Miller needs a win. Grant Clark needs a win. Daniel Quigley, he needs a win. And then you get to Ryan Palmer down here. He's in 26th position, but he is going to lock himself in automatically. We are waiving that where he did have that house fire. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make these races. Just going to be too hard for him. He will end up getting back up and going by the time that the playoffs start here after Christmas. So again, if you have not donated to him and their family, please do that. We'll comment that link in the comment section below. Guys, looking at this right now, wow. There's some guys here that could still potentially get a win here. If you had to circle 2 guys for the next 2 races, who's getting a win here? If it's not a repeat winner, we're looking for somebody that is bidding their way in with a win.
2 guys, huh?
Just 2.
Just 2. Well, without giving away my pick.
Yeah, you don't have to give your picks away, yeah.
I think Nick Galusha has a really good chance tonight to get a win. He ran well in Chicago last season.
Yeah.
It's kind of I don't think he'll put himself in a bad position to get that win because he's right on the bubble there with Austin and getting in. So, so I'm not sure how hard he'll try, but he's got a good chance. And the other one, believe it or not, is going to be Grant Clark at Darlington.
I like to hear this.
He's probably out of everybody that I've known has seen race Darlington before. So none of the new guys here, and I can't talk about Hunter Lagoons or Brent Butler. Those guys are new to the league, but Grant Clark is the best guy I've seen race at Darlington. So that's a good chance for him to pull a win out. If his race goes clean, he's got a good chance.
Okay. Chris?
Definitely, Patrick mentioned Nick Galusha. I think he's a candidate to win any race. He was last season's champion. I think Derek still has the chance to win one of these. I think he's going to be really good tonight at Chicagoland. I think it was Vegas that he basically had that one in the bag, right? Until some bad luck. And then Kansas, he was really good. Sean just had a great car there at the end, and Derek's going to be good here. So I think Derek's got a chance. But I definitely think I'd be shocked to get into the playoffs, and Hunter and Brent, one of them two not have a win.
I know. That's the same I'm thinking. Like, how do they not have a win yet and being so good? Like, maybe they're holding off. They're waiting until the playoffs. Then they're just going to start, hitting those wins and knocking people out. So, yeah, you never know. So that's what it looks like so far on the standings. We will notate that Isabella, that was with us, he has missed his amount to get his automatic bid in because he did get that win. So that was his automatic bid in, but the requirement was you had to race X amount of races. Well, he's already missed too many races. So now if he's wanting to get in, he's going to have to do it on points. And man, that's going to be super hard with as many as he's missed. So he has lost his automatic bid into it. All right. So what are we going to see here at Chicagoland? I'm pretty excited about Chicagoland. I always like running at Chicagoland. Patrick, what do you think we see?
I think you see a very similar race to Kansas. They're almost identical tracks. They're both 1.5 miles. They're both cookie cutter D-shaped oval. I think the tri-oval at Chicagoland is a little tighter than Kansas, and you've got a little bit of a slight bend in the backstretch at Chicagoland. But otherwise, the banking's very similar. The lap times are very similar. You're going to see a very similar race, a very similar, tire saving methods. So Sean might have another chance here. We'll see, right? So yeah, hopefully, like I said, last season Chicagoland was, we only had 3 cautions for 10 laps. So I'm hoping very similar this season. It's a very good track. It's a fun race to run. It's very wide, so hopefully we'll have it, keep it clean and a green flag for most of the way.
Yeah, I second that. I think a lot of it will be just like last week. Hopefully, I think, Brian, you pulled me up for an interview last week during the broadcast, probably about lap 40 or so, and, it was pretty disgusting at that point. We had basically had 6 cautions at that point, I believe. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we've got the cautions out of the way. I'd love to see this thing go green the whole night and just see what everybody has and have some green flag pit stops. I think that makes it fun. It changes the race, especially on these mile and a halves, these, mile and a half, 2 mile tracks like this. You get spread out. What makes it fun for the broadcast is the green flag pit stops where people kind of take risk staying out. You take chances going in early. You never know what's going to happen, but should be a good race.
All right. It will be a good one. And we are momentarily away from the green flag here at Chicagoland. It's going to be a fun one. We've got your 10-second thoughts with Patrick Day and Chris Miller here coming up after the break.
When it comes to heating and cooling, at John Betlin, we promise to take the utmost care. We'll make sure your repair is done right and any new installation is perfect. It's how we've done business since 1941. Our customers, you, are our priority. And when you need us, we're ready to help. It's our promise. So that's why there's something important that you should know. Did you know there are 2 heating and cooling companies here in our filter that share a similar name? Betlin. And that's confusing. So make sure when you search for us online, you look for John Betlin. It's easy to confuse, so whenever you need us, be sure to search for and call John Betlin. Because it's my grandfather, John Betlin, who taught us to work hard, do a great job, and take care of all our customers. And of course, there's only one phone number you'll ever need to remember.
All right. It's time for your 10-second thoughts with Patrick Day and Chris Miller. All right. Before I do get to that, Chris, last week's show, I believe it was last week's show, had to make sure that he was wearing that Michigan shirt. Well, I didn't wear the Michigan shirt, but I do have the Ohio Bobcats. That's my college that I went to. They won their championship, the MAC championship. Pretty excited about that. First championship since 1968. That's a long time. So I have to get pretty excited about it. It's pretty cool stuff.
I mean that's the real Ohio team.
Yeah. Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to have the state behind it.
Exactly.
All right, 10-second thoughts. Chris, you're going to start us off. You're going to have that first question. Your first question is going to deal with your first 5 in the point standing. So I'll bring that up for you so that you have that to see. Your first one is from positions 1 through 5 in the standings. Who is the scariest to see in the playoffs because of their talent?
Oh. Johnny Evans.
Okay, explain.
Johnny is fast at a lot of tracks. Not always. I don't even want to put aggressive. He's very good at what he does, but maybe he ends up in some incidents. But he's very fast.
Okay. All right. Patrick, if you had that same question, who would you pick here?
I mean, it's hard to bet against Hunter Lagoons, right? I mean, he's been in top 5 almost the whole season. So if he keeps that going in the playoffs, he's gonna be hard to beat. But yeah, I mean, Johnny Evans. I mean, the whole top 5 are very talented, right? So you can choose any of them and pick a reason why they win the playoffs. But yeah, I would probably pick Hunter Lagoons to win the playoffs as it stands right now. After watching him run, he's just so consistent.
I like that for the consistency part. That's really nice, and that would be a really good pick. But then if you break down the playoffs to the final 4, what's more important? Probably a guy that can actually get it done and put it in victory lane, because Hunter Lagoons has not been able to do that yet. And that, if he makes it to the final 4 and he's not able to do that and another driver can, that's going to hurt him. So he's going to have to try to find that victory lane sooner than later. Can he be the winner tonight here at Chicagoland and, get that name off that white and get a nice gold name on there to show that he can win? We'll see. All right, Patrick, your question coming up next. And yours has to deal with positions 6 through 10. Okay? From positions 6 through 10 in the standings, who is the scariest to see in the playoffs because of their talent?
Well, I mean, my first look was split between 2. If I had to pick one, Paul Fly. The other one I was going to pick was say Kyle Lemon, right? But Paul Fly beat Kyle Lemon and myself in the last race of the season last year to finish second in the points. So there you go. Yeah, but Kyle Lemon and Paul Fly pretty even there.
Okay, Chris.
I'm going with Kyle Lemon. I went with when I took Johnny Evans, I said he's fast, and Kyle's shown the ability. I guarantee you, if we went back right now and probably went through the whole entire season and kept track of how many cars people fast, how many trucks people fast, Kyle Weldon would probably be your top guy. But that many trucks have also passed him. So, I just think Kyle.
Okay. No love for Byron Gay, your teammate. No trust there. No words. Just keep it.
Byron's been consistent. He's been consistent, but he'll have to show me something in the playoffs.
I mean, here's where I'm at with Byron right now. 4 drivers right now are guaranteed to make it on points. He's that number 4. Okay, that's not guaranteed in. He just needs to do what he has been doing, except for the last race. Actually, put Byron in the wall the last race there towards the end. So my apologies. I apologized to him last week, but he was already multiple laps down. But he needs to keep doing what he's been doing, and he'll be just fine.
Okay. Next question.
We had quite a few disconnects last week because of the weather, too. Ryan, did you happen to keep note of how many we actually lost from disconnects?
I did not, because I was actually having the same issues. So there was a lot of wind coming through the Ohio area, probably even Indiana, West Virginia, Kentucky. I mean, there was a lot of wind pushing through, and we had some high winds, and so I had some connection issues too, and it was just a battle all night long. So yeah, that's the thing, you know. You don't want to have a bad race early in on these series because you just never know when weather comes through. You don't have power, you know. You just never know. Or in Ryan Palmer's case, you know, a disaster happens and there's nothing you can do. So, just part of it. All right, Chris, you're next here. Out of our winners so far this season, how many will go on this rest of this season winless?
The rest of the season, counting the playoffs.
Yep.
I think 4.
Ooh, 4. Who?
Now you're really put me on the spot. That's what they want to answer. No, I'm going to say this. I really do see Patrick still getting another win, and I see Johnny Evans getting another win.
Okay. So we know who the other 4 are. That's cool.
That's correct.
All right. So, Timmy Lewis, you're not going to see Victory Lane again. I'm sorry. That was from Chris. Paul Fly, you will not see Victory Lane again. Forget it. You're out of there. Sean Smith, hey, those luck, bud. Not getting it again. And Ryan Palmer, not going to happen. Because Talladega is going to come around and Chris Miller is going to steal the win. That's what's going to happen.
Sean Smith probably win tonight.
Probably. We're probably all wrong. You're probably 100% right. Patrick, if you had that same question, who would go on this season winless after getting a win?
I mean, that's tough. Honestly, I would say the only ones I would feel comfortable saying probably won't is Sean Smith and Ryan Palmer. But like Chris said, Sean might win tonight at Chicagoland because it's a cookie cutter what we just ran at Kansas. So, but you know, everybody learned from Kansas too. So we'll see what happens. And how many of our fast guys were some of the ones that disconnected?
Sure.
I think there were a couple of fast guys that wound up being disconnected last night or last week. So,
Okay, so next question is going to go for you, Patrick, and I'm just interested to hear this one. So, what do you think is drivers' biggest issue on iRacing when it comes to asphalt?
I think it's just with our fixed setups, right? It's the inconsistency of the setup. I noticed a lot of time they make those setups to really cater to more of a C-class type of field, right? You're probably looking at sub 3,000 or even sub 2,000 I-rating drivers. So they make the truck more forgiving, right? It's usually not real loose. They have a lot of wedge in it so that it's stable mid corner, and it usually eats up that right front really bad.
Okay. All right. Next question for you, Chris. You're going to end this. 10-second thoughts. This will be our final question, and I'm going completely opposite of this whole Tarmac Esports series. You know, I'm still going virtual and everything like that because that's just what we do. And with the leagues that you run and everything, we just have to. We got to stick there. But I got to have your thoughts on this very important question. And it is, in the light of the Big Ten Championship about to take place in your football league, who do you think's going to win and what will the score be?
Well, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to say 24-21.
So Chris Miller and myself, we playing in a championship in the Big Ten Championship, and Chris is thinking he's going to win 24-21. So we'll let you know next week how that all plays out and see just who wins. We'll see. We'll see. You know, it's going to be interesting. I'm surprised you're going with 24-21 because we're both very high-scoring teams. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going with me getting victory by about 10 points over Chris Miller.
What's your score?
My score?
Yeah.
Let's go with I'm gonna put up 42 points. Put up 42. 42 points.
42-31 to win that.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. All right, so now let's move on to the most important part of tonight's show, and that is your picks. So let's get that board up there. All right. Most important thing for Patrick Day is, what does the points look like from last week? You want to know, right? All right, let's pull those points up. There it is. Patrick Day leads with 11 points. Chris Miller at 9 points, and I have 7 points. Let's get tonight's top 3 picks out of the way. Chris, you've got us on that third position there. Patrick, what's he thinking?
We talked about him a little bit earlier, but I think he might pick Brent Butler here. He had a good race last week, last week. And I think he has him engine up a little bit more here and finish third.
Yeah, Brent needs to sneak in that win column. I didn't take him here at third. He doesn't need to sneak in. I think he's in on points anyway. But I took Kyle Wellman because I think Kyle Wellman does have to have a good finish. He showed last week that he could. He's going to run good here again. He's going to be fast here. He's got to keep it clean, but I think more than anything, he knows he's got to be consistent. He's got to have a good finish so that he remains in that point race for the championship. So I got Kyle Wellman third.
Okay, good pick. All right, moving on from Kyle Wellman, that does need a good finish there, and so a top 3 would very much do very well for him as he's behind Byron Gay. You know, does anybody think Byron Gay's in our top 3? You know, no, probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Chris. Not after last week. So we'll see. We'll see. PJ Popham, he could potentially be inside the top 3, and he needs a good finish too. So a lot of these guys that haven't got a win, they just need solid finish here if they're going to get it in. All right, Patrick, you got us for that number 3 spot for you. Chris, what's he got?
I think he's going to go with another strong runner from last week. I think he's going to put Austin Palmer. He's got a little better finish.
That's a good pick. No, I didn't put Austin here. Austin's got to show me he can get through a clean green flag pit stop before I pick him in the top 3, right? So no, he was running well. They just had some problems in pits. So Tuesday practice, Austin come out and practice pit stops. But no, I'm going to put the guy you didn't pick in third here. I'm going to pick Brent Butler for third. I think he's going to have a good race here. Had a good race last week. I think he's going to put it together and have a good finish here.
It's interesting. You know, Brent Butler, one of those drivers, the 76 machine. You know, I don't know. Chris, would you want to share that? Or maybe it was Patrick that wanted to share what they thought of Brent Butler coming into this series. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that, Chris?
No.
You don't remember this? Or maybe it was Derek telling me this.
It might have been. Because I don't know.
They were talking, and I believe it was Brent that they were talking, that all these guys that Derek knows, of course, that he was the one.
Better than him.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were picking on him that night because he was in the garage, but nobody could hear him. But supposedly he could hear everybody else. So I don't know if they were picking on him or if that was really what they thought of him. But yeah, they were saying they were all better. And in front of all of them in the point.
Exactly. He's doing a pretty good job, if you ask me. All right. Who do I have here in my number 3 pick for tonight?
Well, I think you're going to keep picking until he gets you points. So I'm going to say you're going to say Hunter Lagoons here.
Okay.
Well, that's who I was going to say, but I'm going to say something different since you said that. So, I'm going to go with Timmy Lewis here.
Timmy Lewis. All right. My pick here for number 3. Don't know how he does it. I literally don't know how he does it. We do not talk about these picks. And he just, there's not a show that goes by that he doesn't guess at least one of them right. And yes, Hunter Lagoons. I have to. The 27. I think he's going to be inside the top 3. Just not going to get that win yet. I don't know when that win's going to come. I think he's very capable of getting a win tonight, but I don't know. I probably won't have him there when he actually does win. None of us will. He'll just win.
Right.
All right. Number 2 spot. Patrick, what does Chris think?
I mean, he's wanting to get points. Hunter runs it. Yeah, I'm going to say Hunter Lagoons for him in second place.
I'm looking with another guy that needs another good finish, and that's going to be Nick DeLucia. He's always very good here at Chicagoland, usually runs better on these mile and a half. So if he can keep the tires under him, we go on green flag run. He'll come on second.
Good pick.
Yep, good pick. 20. Nick DeLucia, last year's champion. Can he get himself inside the top 3? All right. Patrick, you got us queued up for the next one. Chris, what's he thinking?
Man. I don't know. I say he has Hunter Lagoons here.
That's a good pick, but no, I don't. I'm actually picking the guy in second here who really, really needs a win. But I think, again, he's going to come up 1 place short. Derek Rolfing, I think he's going to have a good race here. But he's just going to be beat out by the guy I picked for the first.
Man, that's heartbreaking to say that to Derek Ruffling, that this would be 2 weekends in a row where he comes up just short. See. All right. Guys, who do I have here in my number 2 spot?
I'll let you pick it first this time, Chris. I'm thinking here.
What? Nah.
You want me to pick it first? Okay.
Might give you good luck.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. He needs points. I think you might say Brent Butler here.
Yep, Brent Butler. Yep.
Yep. Whatever he says is right. All right, my number 2 pick tonight's going to go to you, Patrick. I've actually got you here in the number 2 spot. I think it's going to be, like you said, another kind of repeat of last week. Long green flag run here, and I kind of like you here in this spot. But I think somebody else is going to be just a little bit better than you, and I think he may have been taking notes. All right. Chris, got us keyed up for the number 1 spot. Patrick, what's he thinking?
I'm honestly surprised he didn't pick Nick DeLucia as winning here. So who does he have first? I'm gonna say can you do that? I'm gonna say he's gonna say Hunter Lagoons is gonna get his first win tonight.
A good pick, but you see this 11 points to my 9 points over there? That tells you I need 2 points. Mm-hmm. And the guy you pick second is going to win. And it's going to give me that 2 difference between first and second there that you have. And we are hopefully going to be tied or leading going into the last week of the regular season here before Ryan flips the points and we figure out what we got to do for the playoffs. Derek is going to get it done tonight. He knows he's got to get it done because this is his track, and he's got to get in by winning more than likely. So, Derek Roth.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Okay. Derek Rothling does need a win to get in. Can he get it done in the 88 machine? All right. Chris, what does Patrick have here? What's he thinking?
Did I say it? I think
No, you didn't.
Kyle Bowman.
Kyle Wellman.
Well, look at that. Chris finally picked one right for me. Yep. He's just, he was strong at Chicagoland last season. He was pretty strong last week. I think he just ran it a little bit of control. He finished well, right? But didn't finish as well as I thought he would. Yeah, I think this is his track. I think it's a good chance for him to get the win. I think he's going to take it tonight.
Okay. All right. Good pick. Good pick. Kyle Wellman trying to get himself his first win. So you guys picked 2 new winners. And do I go with a new winner? What do I have here, guys?
Well, you said somebody's been taking notes, maybe. So, shot in the dark. Maybe you have Sean Smith here.
Wow. I mean, I wanted to just say Sean Smith because, I knew you wouldn't pick yourself there for second, so maybe I was going to be right this time and follow you, but I'm not going to go with Sean Smith. Brett Butler.
Okay. So the guy that I got here in my first spot, he's just been coming on throughout this season. Through the first 3-4 weeks, really didn't talk a whole lot about him until around 5, 6, 7, 8. He's been coming alive, and he's been quite the talk of the town. And that is, I'm going to go with PJ Popham here to get his first win. When I say taking notes, I don't think he's been taking some notes, because how many times have we actually seen some long green flag runs? It don't happen very often. Didn't know what to expect there. He's seen it last week, and I think this week is a little different story. He was up front leading some of that race last week. I think that 2 truck will get it done in victory lane tonight. PJ Popham get the win. All right, guys. It is time to go racing at Chicagoland. It's going to be a fun one. We only got 2 races left until playoffs. Good luck to all of our drivers. Some of them definitely needs the win tonight. We'll see you all on the track.
See you guys on the track.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go. Oh, no! Be aggressive, everyone.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
Again, baby!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
Good evening, race fans, as we are on to round 9 of the Tarmac Esports Truck Series, and we're at none other than Chicagoland Speedway, and it's going to be a fun one as we've got some drivers that are still not locked into the playoffs, and they're looking to find their first win on the series. We just concluded practice here, and practice was very interesting. We had several guys that was on top of the leaderboard. Kyle Wellman late in that run, he was on top of the leaderboard. PJ Popham there, he was right there in that 3rd spot. Derek Rothling was right up there. So a couple good drivers that are up there that is needing that crucial win to get themselves in, and we are currently under qualifying conditions right now, and you can see that we've got about 50 seconds left in qualifying. And just like in final practice, Kyle Wellman is on top of the leaderboard with PJ Popham there in 2nd. Hunter Lagoon's going to clock in there in the number 3 spot. Austin Palmer ran well last week. He is in the 4th spot. And Brent Butler in the number 5 spot. And you can see on down through there as these guys take time. We've only got about 20 seconds for those times to come in. For this one, 24 trucks have entered the pits to do battle around Chicagoland, and again, this is round 6 of 10 rounds of the regular season before we hit the playoffs just after Christmas into the new year. So it'll be interesting to see tonight if we see a new winner or a repeat winner. For those that's trying to get in on points, they're kind of hoping that there is a repeat winner. So looking at the points we come across here, there is who is locked in. Those that are in the yellow is locked in. So Patrick Day, Timmy Lewis, Johnny Evans, Paul Fly, Sean Smith, and Ryan Palmer. Those are the drivers that are currently locked in. They will make it into the round of 12. No matter what, they are in. The tricky part gets from, that 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spot. They're really battling for points, and they would really like to get a win to get in. Nick Galusha, last year's champion, he's looking for a win to try to get in. And the trucks are lining up on the front stretch there as we are getting ever so close to dropping the green flag for the first time on round number 9 here at Chicagoland. As Kyle Wellman and PJ Popham will be on the front row, and we'll try to dial up both of these guys. We've got PJ Popham that is qualified 2nd, right there on the front row outside. PJ, you've ran well over the last couple weeks, just have not been able to find victory lane. Have you thought about what it's going to take today to potentially get that win that you so desperately really need?
Yeah, just keeping the truck clean. We haven't made a lot of laps at Chicagoland. That the qualifying time actually kind of surprised me, but the truck pretty loose. So we'll just try to keep it together, be there at the end again, and hopefully at least have another good finish if we can't put it on the podium, or on the number 1 spot. So
all right, we'll keep an eye on that 2 truck and see how she does tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
Trying to dial up the 42 machine. The 42 definitely needed a win tonight. You're starting on the pole tonight. What's it going to take to keep that 42 up front and be a dominant force today?
First off, I got to point out something I've never seen before. If you look to the outside of PJ there on the wall, they've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there after the word Speedway, so that's pretty cool. But tonight, I think it's going to be a lot like last week. Multi-groove racing, saving tires. We're really loose on the bottom, it seems like, especially when we hit the seams. And with the new debris refresh, I've noticed a lot more rubber on the track, and it's actually going to affect the handling of the car too, so we got to watch out for that also.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that 42 and see how you do tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
See Hunter Lagoons here qualified well. Hunter Lagoons, a teammate of the 42 machine. Hunter, sitting right there behind your teammate. You guys planning on trying to kind of work a little bit together here early in this race, and if it comes down to it at the end, how much you want that victory over that 42?
I'm not going to do anything to him. He probably deserves it, but I probably won't. You know, I'm pretty good on points right now. I'm not going to do anything that's going to, I guess risk it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm not locked in, but I don't care at this point, I'll be honest.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on the 27 tonight. Short, sweet, to the point. Just kind of out here cruising around. 27, Hunter Lagoons there. The Austin Palmer, he had a great race last week, as it was just unfortunate that had some issues in the pits and just didn't have the finish that he needed. Austin cleaning up a little bit of that under green flag, as we may see that again tonight, but what's going to take to keep the 23 up there and have a solid finish?
Well, definitely getting those green flag pit stops under my wraps there. Just gotta keep it on the track, stay away from other guys, and try to avoid incidents and try to get it to the end there.
All right, good luck to you, and hopefully we're talking in victory lane.
Appreciate it.
Another driver that we thought we would see a little bit more of this season was Ben Wharton of 14. He qualifies in the 7th spot. Ben, not the season that you've really wanted early on this one, but what's going to take? I mean, you're probably looking at, you needing a win to get in, and what's that going to look like today? Is that your opportunity today to get it, or is Darlington your spot?
I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I'm just going to kind of go in here with not really much of a plan here, just try and do my best and see if we can be there at the front at the end, and try and get it done in one of these last 2 races in the regular season.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
It's Ben Wharton, a 14 machine. We always like to dial up one more driver. We always like calling on this guy. And Byron, you got yourself starting here in about the 12th spot, right there close to your teammate. What's going to take to get that truck up front?
Save as much tire as I can on that right rear, because it's going to be eating up here all night long. So just save it up and just be here when it counts.
All right, about to go green flag. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we are ready to go green flag racing here on turn 4. iRacing pace car lights are out. The 42 is going to get that green flag, and the 2 on the outside of him, PJ Popham. They've had discussions about 2-3 weeks ago. Don't really like each other. How hard will they race each other early in this one? As we have a caution flag out in the speedway, and getting word from iRacing at what all happened. We've seen Sean Smith went off the track just before the caution flag flew. Derek Roffling involved and Paul Fly involved in the accident. We'll take a look at what happened. Sean Smith was a driver that won last week, and we haven't spoke a lot about that early to open up the broadcast, but that 77, he got the win. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Looked like there was an incident happening in front of him and tried to get out of the way. Let's take a look with Derek Roffling. The 98 gets loose, and around goes the 88. Round goes the 88 on that one. We got a great onboard camera of we've got a great onboard quick camera of the, I believe it was Paul Fly. Take a look. And he gets sandwiched up against that wall, and you can see him just sliding on his side. But Paul Fly not having the best of luck here. Take another look here. 98 gets loose. And what's crazy about it is right before the 98 gets loose, Paul Fly, 94, he gets loose too. And they both go up into the wall. Paul Fly was content to just kind of ride the wall, but then things happen behind him. We're going to take one more look with on board with Johnny Evans. So under our first caution flag of the day on lap number 1, some guys that needed a win. Derek Rothling, Byron Gay needed a good finish and involved in an accident, and they call it the broadcaster's curse when we talk to them, and then something happens to him. They blame it on the broadcaster, and well, I imagine Byron Gay is not happy right now, as he's probably saying, keep me off of that radio. So every time I get on there, I have issues, but we're going to try to re-rack them up here, and the iRacing pace car lights are out, and we are ready to try to go green flag once again. Front row is a little bit different now with the 42 and the 27 teammates, and we got mayhem here. The 76, what's going on? What is going on here? Lights are back out on the pace car. What just happened? What did we just see? Oh, 76, something stuck on the throttle, or I don't know. I couldn't tell you exactly what happened there, but you seen it there. Yeah. Well, we're not sure. We're not sure exactly what transpired. Here's 76. A throttle stick on that sucker? Just takes both guys out. And into the pits he goes. I mean, it seemed like he was able to drive it all right down in there. But I think everyone's going to regain their positions back, and we're trying to get back underway. We'll maybe try to figure out exactly what happened with the 76. As we're green flag. And another truck around, and that's PJ Popham around for the ride. Caution flag flies. And these guys cannot hold the truck. They're getting loose out there. Caution flag flies once again. Round goes PJ Popham. Doesn't hit anything. Spins the thing, and now he's back in 19th spot. We do have Brent Butler back on the speedway, and see if we can dial up the 76 machine. And Brent, you got a copy?
I do now. Yeah.
Can you take us through what happened there?
Everything just shut off. So my internet was still good on the Discord, but on iRacing, everything went off. So I don't know if that's a new update thing with iRacing I got a problem with or what, but I couldn't see anybody, couldn't see anything. So that's on me, I guess, but definitely not on purpose. So sorry I wrecked, guys. I had no idea.
All right, we didn't know. We didn't know exactly what was going on, so we figured we'd dial you up and find out what was going on. Good luck to you the rest of the race. Hopefully things straighten out for you.
Yeah, sorry about that. So.
All right, 2 cautions, pretty much back-to-back in the first turn of this one. And we got word on the 76, and that's the thing with virtual racing here, is that you never know what's going to happen. You get guys that's running the actual VR headsets, and if they go black, well, you can't see a thing, and you kind of like waking up in the middle of the night, and it's completely black, and you're trying to find a bathroom. Well, he was trying to find the pits here, and he couldn't find it. So that 76 is hoping to not have an issue later on in this one. He's going to score himself 1 lap down right now in the 22nd position. He's been a threat in this series, and so keep an eye on him. He's not done for the day. It's really early in this race. We'll see that 76 back up front. So Kyle Wellman, Hunter Lagoons, Nick Galusha, they're in the 3rd position. Austin Palmer and Ben Wart in the 5th position. Biggest gainer in this race so far is Michael Timmerman right there in the 17 machine. And last week's winner, the 77 of Sean Smith, he's in the 15th spot right now. Keep an eye on him if this thing goes long green flag run. He was very, very dominant last week at Kansas. We're about to go green flag, but we do have the race facts here. We'll give you, it is 134 laps, 201 miles at pit road speed at 45 miles per hour. That fuel window right there around 44 to 48, same as last week. And the weather today is at 65 degrees and partly cloudy out there. And as always, John Bedlam Heating and Cooling and Game Day Rally Gear, big time sponsor for this Tarmac Esports Truck Series. If it wasn't for them, we would probably not be here broadcasting this, so greatly appreciate those 2 companies out there. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car. It's in the Geico restart zone for the 42. Timmy Lewis, the 41 on the move. He got himself down to the bottom side of the raceway pretty quick here. Nick Galucci on the bottom. He's got some push there by Timmy Lewis trying to get around Hunter Lagoons here on this first lap. Trying to get 1 full lap completed under green flag conditions. It does look like we're going to do it. There goes Hunter Lagoons by your race leader, Kyle Wellman. Not so fast yet. He had a good run there on the exit of 4. Man, them trucks get a little loose down there on the bottom. You can see that as he hits the bottom white line there. And Nick Galusha up to the top side, quick to get around for the 27. Austin Palmer right there in 2nd now, takes over from Hunter Lagoons and has his sights set on Kyle Wellman that is leading this race right now. And he set quick time out here, but right now you see there the fastest time set out there, and Austin Palmer is the fastest out here right now on the 23 machine. A single file on back in here, all the way back to Michael Timmerman that runs 7th. He's up 11 spots from the drop of the green flag. Trevor Catalano in the 56. He needs a win for sure to get in. Kyle Smith, brother of Sean Smith of last week's winner. He runs in the 9th spot, and then Frank Klein. And then your first two-car battle back here, the 14 and the 13 of Colin Peterson. That's Johnny Evans there on the 14 on the inside. That is a battle for the 11th spot here. Just one spot out of the top 10. Johnny Evans looking to grab that spot away from Colin Peterson and set sights on Frank Klein to try to get himself inside the top 10. Back here, PJ Popham had an issue there. Got loose on that one turn out of exit of, I believe, 1 or 2 there. And round he went, didn't hit anything, but now he's on his move back up front. He is currently in the 16th position. Back up front, Nick DeLucia pressuring Austin Palmer. Kyle Wellman still leads the way. Austin Palmer right to the back bumper of Kyle Wellman. These are your last lap times as they come across on your screen there. Hunter Lagoons at a 30.8. Nick DeLucia at a 30.76, which is your fastest out of the top 5. Comes a run by Timmy Lewis to the bottom side. Going to try to take a look down below the 27. Still going to look. And now he'll try to get down below him and try to clear him out of turns 4. And he will do so. Looks like the 27 went ahead and gave him that pretty easily. No hard racing right now between those two. Big battle right here. Michael Timmerman, Kyle Smith in the 45. It's too wide there. 17 starts to get a little loose there. Drifts up the track. It gives up the position to the 45. Michael Timmerman now under pressure by Frank Klein and Trevor Catalano and Johnny Evans. This is a good group battle here for the 8th position. Frank Klein currently takes the position away. Trevor Catalano now going to try to look to the inside. Nope, not going to do it this time. Michael Timmerman, you can see that truck gets really loose there in the middle of the turn. Has to get off the throttle just a little bit. At 56, looking to the inside, that's Catalano. Catalano currently running in the 10th spot right now. He'll take that spot away from Michael Timmerman. Johnny Evans now after Frank Klein. This is a good battle right here as your top 7 is pretty much single file right now. No movement up there with Kyle Wellman still leading the way. But a battle right here with Frank Klein and the 14 of Johnny Evans. Evans looking to the inside here momentarily. Nothing there. As you can see, these cars, they'll get cleared down onto that flat apron on the front stretch there to try to maximize their speed, a shorter distance around this place. Paul Negus now into the picture here. He has caught to the back bumper of Colin Peterson, so that 52 is looking to try to take that position away from the 13. And you can see that 52, he runs really high in the turn, and he gets a huge run down the front stretch. A big run. Colin Peterson's going to let him have the outside. He's seen him coming, so the 52 is on the move. You see that? Look how quick and high he gets. Real close to that outside wall, and he'll have a great momentum here. Look at the speed he has, and he's going to cross him over. 52 of Paul Negus using the top side of the raceway, making it look really easy up there. Lots of momentum using that space. A little shifting going around here with a 33 and a 14 of Frank Klein and Johnny Evans. Catalano now on the outside of Evans. Catalano going to try to take that position away and move himself up into the 9th spot, and he will do it. Move Trevor Catalano up in the 9th spot. Anybody who's watching what that 52 was doing back there in the back, man, he looked really good, had a lot of speed. The one guy that was right behind him was that 2 truck of PJ Popham. And if anybody knows how to rip the top, that's guys that's raced some dirt in the 2 machine. He has done that, and so maybe keep an eye on that 2. Maybe he'll start to rip the top here. He'll give the way to the 52. Kyle Wellman still leading the way. Nick Galusha has actually taken over second as Austin Palmer slips back just a little bit as we was watching that battle back there with Paul Negus. So the 20, Nick Galusha, last year's champion. He is running up along the wall and getting a lot of momentum as well. Some of these drivers have comms inside their helmets and they're listening to the broadcast and they may be hearing, hey, these guys are ripping the wall down and maybe that's where I need to be right now. And the 20 is getting up there pretty tight whenever he needs to. So Nick Galusha is in the 2nd position. Timmy Lewis runs in the 3rd position. Timmy Lewis has gained 10 spots from the drop of the green flag. The other driver has gained 10 spots. That's the 45 of Kyle Smith. So Kyle Smith in the 7 machine, he is doing what he needs to do. He is in the 7th position right now. PJ Popham working his way back up through. Right now he's in the 12th spot. Again, he spun. He was all the way at the back of this pack, and he's knocking down good lap times back there to try to chew away at some of these drivers in front of him. Austin Palmer back to the bumper of the 41 machine. You can see the 23. He's moved up to the outside and gets this big push, big run on the exit of 4, and it's a drag race down the front stretch, and he closes right back to the back bumper of the 41. 27 drops to the inside. He's going to try to get the run on him. Not able to do it right yet. 23 uses the top side. After these guys kind of figure out how to work the top side, and it looks like it works best in 3 and 4 versus 1 and 2. It's like 1 and 2, you need to go to the bottom, and in 3 and 4, you go to the top and get this huge run for the front stretch. All this is going on. Ben Wart's kind of just watching right now in the 6th spot. He hasn't been up front running a whole lot in this series, and so he's running in 6th right now, just buying his time in this one. 28 laps down of a 134 lap race. Trevor Catalano in the 7th position, desperately needs a win. This is a driver we thought would win early in on this season, has not been able to get the win yet. And the question is, when does that win come? Because if he doesn't get it this week, he has to have it at Darlington, or he is not going to make the playoffs. He has just not had the finishes. He's been involved in accidents. Just not a great season at all for that 56 machine. Change for the 4th position. Hunter Lagoons looking to the inside of Timmy Lewis. There's Timmy Lewis. Kind of uses the bottom side of the raceway to use that position up. The 23 of Austin Palmer still works the top side. So this is a battle for the 4th position with Austin Palmer and Hunter Lagoons. Look at that, and the 23 may have scraped the wall there, and that opens up the door for the 27 to get a good run to the bottom side. Drag race down the front stretch. He's got Timmy Lewis right in front of him. And Hunter Lagoon's going to dip to the bottom side of the raceway. He's going to try to stick it here. 23 goes down, kind of use up some of that space. Doesn't go nearly as high through 1 and 2 here. Side by side racing down the backstretch. Timmy Lewis right there on the bottom side in 41. Here comes Ben Wart to the inside of the 27. Ben Wart now looking inside, looking for the top 5 position here if he can get to it. Not able to complete the pass yet. Good cluster battle right here. This is a battle for that 4th position. Austin Palmer is up into the 3rd position right now. Timmy Lewis starting to slip back just a little bit. It's into the 5th position. Trevor Catalano right to his back bumper. Goes to the inside. He'll clear him. So Trevor Catalano now inside the top 5. And Timmy Lewis keeps continuing to drop. Maybe he's used up a little bit of his stuff. That's a question that some of these drivers have got to figure out. Where is the sweet spot? How hard do I push? Is this going to be a long green flag run? Because if it is, am I saving enough tire to last the whole run? As you know, there's drivers back here that are doing that. It's Patrick Day, one of the great ones too. And you see the 41 gets up into the outside wall. They're trying to run the high side. Hunter Lagoon's back underneath the 23 of Austin Palmer. Good battle now for 3rd. Hunter Lagoons drives it in there hard. Going to try to clear the 23 here, and it does look like he's going to get it right in front of the nose, and the 23 will go to the bottom side and cross him up. So the 23 back to the bottom side. Not able to get down there, and he'll just settle in here. Early in on this race, don't get crazy. Don't overdrive things, as he's going to settle for that 4th position. Ben Wart able to get around Trevor Catalano, and so move Ben Wart up into the 5th position right now. It's right on board with Ben Wart. Nick Galusha has taken over the race lead from Kyle Wellman. Kyle Wellman slipping up just a little bit. You can see him right in front of the 23 right now. So Nick Galusha takes over your race lead. Here's a look at what happened. Slips up onto the inside. Let's take one more look with Kyle Wellman here. Just gets loose. Gets loose on the exit of 4, and that's all it took for Nick Galusha to take that position away from Kyle Wellman. So Nick Galusha, last year's champion, looking to try to get a win. And he's won a championship once. Can he do it again? But first, he's going to have to win to get himself in, to make sure that he locks himself in, not have to buy in on points, because right now, he's one spot out, and he's not looking to make it if he cannot hold on to that truck. Man, that truck is a loose. You can see him just playing around with that thing as Hunter Lagoons gets to the back bumper of him. Right on board with Hunter Lagoons. And here's going to be a pass for the lead. The 27 going to take over the race lead from Nick Galusha. Galusha going back to the bottom side. He says not yet. Not ready to surrender that lead just yet as the 20 goes back to the front. So right now, as we stand, we have your top 8 in this race. I'm sorry, your top 6 in this race has not won yet. So they're all looking to lock themselves into the playoffs. As Hunter Lagoons goes back around Nick Galusha for the race lead. Ben Wart up to the 4th position now. Having a solid run here with a long green flag run. So we ask ourselves, PJ Popham, had a spin early in on this run. He is back up into the 10th spot. So he is doing what he needs to do to get back in this race. But right now, Hunter Lagoons is knocking down some pretty fast times. 32.01 is his last lap. Ben Wart at a 32.094. So right now, that lap there, Ben Wart was your fastest out there. Michael Timmerman gets a little loose here and gets a little bit off the track there, as he's going to drop back into the 17th spot after that. It's going to be a pass for second here. It's Ben Wart in the 14. Don't blink now, but that 14 truck is on the move. He's up into the second spot now. 20 going to look back underneath the 14. Looks pretty stable right now. The 20 gets a little loose there, starting to come up the racetrack just a little bit. All clear. Battle for second right here with Nick Galusha and Ben Wart. Ben Wart traces him down the racetrack a little bit. Try to cut off that momentum. 20 gets a little loose there again. You can see it just jerk just a little bit, and he catches it. These guys are doing a great job. The trucks are very, very loose. You'd think as the rubber got laid down and the tires got a little worn that they would start to tighten up a little bit, but that has not been the case yet. Hunter Lagoon's still your race leader, but Ben Wart is lurking back there and starting to close on your race leader. Patrick Day is starting to make some moves here as PJ Popham is in the pits. It does look like this is going to be a scheduled green flag pit stop for PJ Popham. Doing a quick pit here, looks like. Might be a smart decision here if it all pans out and no caution comes out. Patrick Day is doing what he needs to do. Right now, he's pretty quick out there, a 32.1. He saved some stuff, and now he's starting to come alive. He's in the 10th spot. Ben Wart has cut it down to a half a second now to Hunter Lagoons. Sean Smith, last week's winner, 14th right now. Right behind him, Grant Clark. Haven't spoke much about him. The 06, his teammates spoke highly of the 06, especially at Darlington, says that he may be the guy to beat next week at Darlington and maybe get himself locked in to the playoffs. PJ Popham is back out on the track. He is one lap down. We do have another guy in on pit lane. That's Frank Klein. A couple of these guys are starting to do a little bit quicker pit stops, trying to get ahead of it because they're a little bit behind. There's Hunter Lagoon's going to start to come in. That surrenders the lead to Ben Wart. Ben Wart will get a few bonus points here for leading his first lap tonight. So Hunter Lagoons comes in by himself on this one. So now the question is, when will the rest of these guys start to pit? The pit window is definitely open now. And you can't think that you're going to have to be able to stay out there too long. If you stay out there too long, then you're giving up time to those guys that have fresh tires. But if this thing stays a green flag for a long period of time, then those guys that pitted early, it's going to be in some trouble. You can see Nick Galusha is in on pits, Paul Negus, Michael Timmerman. Still Ben Wart, your race leader, with the 56 of Catalano now up to the second position, and Kyle Wellman runs third. Ben Work still turning 32.089. That's pretty fast on some older set tires, and he's trying to maximize the distance on those tires. You see PJ Popham down there turning a 31.01 or a 31.1. So that's quite a bit faster. Catalano and the 42 of Wellman is in on pits. So you can see fresh tires is about a second quicker than the guys that are out there running right now. Patrick Day has not pit yet. He's up into the second spot with Grant Clark that has not pit yet, and he's up to third. And Chris Miller has not pit yet, as Ben Wart is going to pit. He's going to surrender the lead to Patrick Day here on the exit of 4. So Patrick Day is going to take over the race lead and get a few bonus points. Right now, it looks like Hunter Lagoons is still going to be your race leader after everything cycles through. But then PJ Popham, that was back here in 10th, he's pit a little sooner. He's going to come out in second here. So that quick pit really helped out a lot. And he's actually not too far away from your race leader. Patrick Day still choosing to stay out on the speedway. Grant Clark staying out there, and Chris Miller staying out on the speedway. See just how much slower these guys are. So when everything cycles through, right here is going to be your race leader. That's going to be Hunter Lagoons, and then right behind him, PJ Popham. I mean, PJ made up a lot of ground by pitting just a few laps sooner than everybody else. Chris Miller is in the pits. He will surrender third place over to Hunter Lagoons now. Patrick Day is in the pits. Grant Clark may stay out for one more lap to try to lead a lap here. And he will. So Grant Clark's going to get a few bonus points here for leading a lap, much needed. So Hunter Lagoons looking really good. Nick Galusha gets by PJ Popham here. You can just tell how much those fresher tires are. As here is your pit lap. So PJ Popham, he pitted on lap 43. So that's the difference in tires. It's quite a bit. I mean, the fall off is very, very quickly on these. So some of the guys that may actually be in a really good spot would be, you know, Ben Moore. He's currently in the 6th spot, and he last pitted on lap 51. And you got Patrick Day back there. He's in 12th, last pitted on lap 54. As Nick Galusha going to take the race lead over from Hunter Lagoons here. Give that race lead back over to Nick Galusha in the 20. So good green flag run. We've only seen 2 caution flags, and that happened pretty much back to back from the very start of this race. And it happened on lap 57. I'm sorry, on lap 1 and on lap 4. And since then, we have been green flag up to lap 57 now. We've seen 1 green flag pit stop. Will we see another green flag pit stop will be the question here. As things really get interesting whenever you start to see a long green flag run. as tires really come into play, the fuel mileage all comes into play. Now the question is, now that these guys have made this green flag pit stop, when's the next green flag pit stop? Do you short pit like PJ Popham did? PJ's in the 3rd spot right now, but I mean, he's gained spots from where he was. He was 10th, but was that the call? Was it the right move? As you can see, these guys that have about 5, 6 fresher tires, it's just blowing by PJ Popham. It's amazing what 5 laps on a tire will do, and so that'll be another question mark when we come down to it with 10 laps to go. Does someone come in and get fresh tires? I'd say yes. But it's all Nick DeLucia up front. We're going to step away for a green flag commercial break. We'll be right back.
When it comes to heating and cooling, at John Betlam, we promise to take the utmost care. We'll make sure your repair's done right and any new installation is perfect. It's how we've done business since 1941. Our customers, you, are our priority. And when you need us, we're ready to help. It's our promise. So that's why there's something important that you should know. Did you know there are 2 heating and cooling companies here in Rochester that share a similar name? Betlam. And that's confusing. So make sure when you search for us online, you look for John Betlam. It's easy to confuse, so whenever you need us, be sure to search for and call John Betlam. Because it's my grandfather, John Betlam, who taught us to work hard, do a great job, and take care of all of our customers. And of course, there's only one phone number you'll ever need to remember.
Call 271-8888, John Betlam Heating and Cooling.
All right, welcome back to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. We are still green flag, and we've been green flag from about lap 5 on. And we've already seen our first green flag pit stops. Nick DeLucia is leading the way right now over Hunter Lagoons. Kyle Wellman runs 3rd. 4th is Ben Ward. And 5th is PJ Popham. That's how your top 5 runs in this one, as we are really close to the halfway mark. Just a few laps away from the halfway mark in this one. As Nick DeLucia has been very, very fast. Hunter Lagoons has been very, very fast. And Ben Ward, on a long run, has been pretty quick as well. You see Ben Ward there in the 14 machine. Right behind him, the 42 of Kyle Wellman. Kyle Wellman was on the pole of this thing, and he was up front leading quite a bit of this race. And as the run went on longer and longer, you didn't see Kyle Wellman up there. Starting to see a little bit of a trend here with the 42. Whenever a long green flag run comes out, the 42 starts to slip up. And so you can see him. He's in 4th right now. My prediction is we'll start to see that 42 go backwards here unless he figures out something to save those tires, as it's not been so friendly to him early in on this one. Caution flag waves out on the speedway. For the 3rd time, only for the 3rd time. And it's going to be for Frank Klein. We'll take a look at what happened. Single car spin there on the exit of 4. 33, Frank Klein brings out the 3rd caution of the day. So they last pit on lap 48. I would imagine you will see these guys come down pit road here. As valuable as tires are, we should see the entire trucks coming down pit road here. And that is exactly what we're seeing. So Nick Galusha in 42. See them all coming down. There was two cars, two trucks, just two, that decided to stay out. Interesting. Hunter Lagoons and Ben Wart stay out on the speedway. Everybody else comes down pit road. Will that be a mistake for Hunter Lagoons and Ben Wart, or was that the right call? Nick Galusha wins the race off of pit road. Kyle Woman right behind him, and Austin Palmer, and then Trevor Catalano and Timmy Lewis and PJ Popham. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car, which means we will be going green flag this time by. Front two rows are on older tires, and much older tires, as we've seen just 5 laps really makes a difference on tires, as I can't imagine that this is going to play well for the 27 to 14. I imagine we'll probably see them drop here. Nick Galusha and Kyle Wellman kind of in the catbird seat here. Just got to make sure that they don't run over these guys in front of them. Patrick Day, one of your biggest gainers of this race. He's in the 10th position, up 13 spots. Back under green flag. Austin Palmer gets by. See, things are starting to stack up. The 23 goes around. Somehow he saves that thing. Caution flag will not come out because of that. Nick Galusha gets around Hunter Lagoons with ease here. Ben Wart trying to hold on to that third position from the 42 of Kyle Wellman. Patrick Day there on the outside, trying to get a run on the 2 machine of PJ Popham. Right in front of PJ, you got Timmy Lewis and Trevor Catalano. Gets really high there on 3 and 4. Big cluster here with Ben Wart kind of right in front of these guys. It's got pressure tires. But Ben Wart trying to just kind of hold on right now. Everything he can. Got some older tires on that thing. Timmy Lewis able to complete the pass there for the 5th position. Nick DeLucia still leads the way. Kyle Wellman runs 2nd. Hunter Lagoons holding on to the 3rd spot with some older tires, doing an all right job, as I say that. Trevor Catalano gets around him, so Hunter Lagoons moves back into the 4th spot. Johnny Evans looks to the inside of the 27. Johnny Evans will take that spot away, move Johnny Evans up into the 6th position. BJ Popham now looking to the inside of Hunter Lagoons. Kyle Smith gets by Hunter Lagoons. So you can see these guys that had older tires that are now in 8th and 11th position. They had dropped. Interesting if we get a caution to see what their strategy was here. Trevor Catalano up into the 3rd spot. This is the highest that we've seen Trevor Catalano in the 56. He is a guy that absolutely 100% needs a win to get in. There's no way around it. Nick DeLucia can potentially get in on points. Kyle Wellman could get in on points. Timmy Lewis is 1. Johnny Evans is 1. And PJ Popham could get in on points. So this guy right here in the 3rd spot of Trevor Catalano is desperate for a win tonight. Kyle Wellman still not able to gain on Nick DeLucia. Nick DeLucia has 0.8 of a second on Kyle Wellman, and that is growing just ever so slightly. Patrick Day going to take over 7th from Kyle Smith. So move Patrick Day up into the 7th position. He'll have his sights on PJ Popham now right in front of him. About 3 seconds off the race lead, and we'll keep an eye on that as that is on lap 78. Lap 78, he was 3 seconds off of the lead lap. These guys up front trying to run really hard right now. Nick DeLucia still 0.8 of a second back. Caution flag flies. 4th caution flag of the day. And this one's going to be Hunter Lagoons on some older tires. Take a look. Oh. And not Hunter Lagoon's fault at all. Brent Klein gets loose and then comes down the track and clips the nose of the 27. The 27 goes into the outside wall. I'll take one more look at it here. Take another look here. On board with Derek Rothling. Good miss by him. As we have some takers going down pit road, Nick DeLucia, Patrick Day. I think fresh tires is the way to go. Anytime that you can get fresh tires, I think you should go for them. Especially if you're not front leading this thing. if you're hovering around that, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place, I mean, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and pit, get fresh tires, and that's exactly what Hunter Lagoons does. Ben Wart, of course, Hunter Lagoon's going to have to get some repairs done to that thing. Hit pretty hard on the outside wall. We're going to see if we can dial up the 14 machine. Ben, looked like you and Hunter Lagoons decided to take a little different pit strategy on that last pit stop. Chose to stay out. What was your thought process there?
I figured on that green flag run there, I stayed out longer than everyone else, so I was on fresher tires, and also figured that even with people pitting, everyone still had to make at least one more stop had we gone green the rest of the way, so that's why I stayed out, just taking a bit of a gamble there mid-race.
All right, you've seen yourself getting up inside the top 5. You think you've got a truck? I mean, you've been out there running several laps. You think you got a truck that could contend for the race lead?
If we get another long run like we did there earlier in the race, I think definitely we can get up there.
All right, good luck to you. We'll keep an eye on that truck.
All right, thank you.
Trevor Catalano on the outside of row number 1 now, the highest that we've seen him, as we are about to go green flag once again. Kyle Smith. We got the lights back on the pace car. Now they're going to go out, so we will go green flag this time, Pi. This should put one more extra lap on there. Things were not squared away back there. A couple drivers, a couple laps down. Frank Klein, a lap down. Byron Gay, 2 laps down. Brent Butler, 4 laps down. Logan Coe, 81 laps down. He's done for the day. And Paul Fly, he's done for the day. 81 laps down. Early in this one. Timmy Lewis gets by Trevor Catalano. Trevor Catalano drops a few spots here on the restart. PJ Popham follows right behind Timmy Lewis in that 3rd position now. Seems like on these short runs like this on fresh tires, nobody can really touch Kyle Wellman. Kyle Wellman's been really fast on these short runs, and if that's what it comes down to, and that 42 is up front late in this one, he can find himself a win for the first time this series. Big cluster right here. Austin Palmer, Patrick Day, Johnny Evans. Patrick Day gets high on the outside wall there. Somehow keeps off of it. Austin Palmer does not keep off of it. The 52 back there does not get off of it as we're 3 wide. Here coming in that turn number 1, still 3 wide. I'm going to go 4 wide there with Austin Palmer. Everything shakes out okay here on lap 87. A big move there for Patrick Day, putting it 3 wide. He gained 6 spots here. I'm sorry, up to the 6th position. Definitely your biggest gainer, up 17 spots in this race. So 24, 2-time winner in the series, looking to go for 3 in this season. Nick Galusha underneath Timmy Lewis. Nick Galusha's been fast too today. The 20, the 42 has really been the talk of the field. Here comes the 20 to the outside of the 42. Nick Galusha will take that position away temporarily from the 42, and now he will do it fully. Patrick Day up into the 4th spot now. Truck has come alive here. He said it's go time in this one, I think, and man, he's rocking the top. We said that top was really fast, and he's figured out how to work the top. Going to go to the outside of the 41. Going to move Patrick Day up into the 3rd spot here. So Patrick Day's going to the front here. He just went by the 42, made him look like he was sitting still. So Patrick Day up into the 2nd spot. He is up 21 spots from the drop of the initial green flag. Ben Mort looking to the inside of Timmy Lewis. This is for 4th position. Yeah, Ben Mort's a driver that's going for broke here. I mean, he can't race his way in on points. He's just not going to make it on points. So he absolutely needs a win to get himself into the playoffs. Truck looks fast right now. It's underneath the 42. You see, these short runs are really good for the 42, but anything that is longer than about 20 laps, maybe 15 laps, that 42 starts to drop. As actually Nick Galusha has been really fast and is opening up a sizable lead, a 1.2 second gap over Patrick Day right now. So Nick Galusha runs 1, Patrick Day 2, and Ben Wart 3rd. Kyle Smith's having a really nice day. He's into the 6th position, battling for the 5th position with Timmy Lewis. Trevor Catalano runs 7th. Paul Nagus having a pretty good outing. He's in the 8th spot. Johnny Evans back here in the 9th spot, getting by Colin Peterson, and Peterson gets into the outside wall, and around goes to 14. I'm not sure if he got loose after getting up high on the 13 as we was watching that. We'll have to see what happened there. This is a caution flag on lap 97 with Johnny Evans. Take a look at it. Yeah, he gets into the wall and then not able to hold it. Let's take another look. Two seen it happen, just drop to the bottom side to get away from it all. Check the inboard camera with the 2. So interesting what's going on right now. Everybody's in the pits except for one driver stays out. The 2, PJ Popham, decides to stay out. So he will take over your race lead, PJ Popham. And everyone wants to know, where's he at on his last pit? Well, there it is. Almost 30 lap older tires than those that just picked up their fresh tires. That's quite a bit of difference. So we're going to step away for a 30-second commercial. We'll be right back.
My truck isn't something you want to see in your rearview mirror.
My truck is a 3,400-pound precision-guided sledgehammer.
I guess you could say my truck likes to take the path less travelable.
My truck never gets claustrophobic in tight spaces.
My truck doesn't haul tools, but hardware, that's a different story.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
All right, welcome back to Chicagoland. This is round 9 of the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. Just one more race after this one, and we will know exactly who is in the round of 12, the playoffs. And this race is brought to you by John Bentlem Heating and Cooling. Give them a call today at 271-8888. And also GameDayRallyGear.com. Check them out online, GameDayRallyGear.com. One driver decides to stay out. That is the 2 of PJ Popham. Everybody else pits. Was that a mistake by the 2, or do they have a strategy up their sleeve? We have 35 laps left of the 134 lap race. So we've got just a few more here. Good restart here by the 2. Probably definitely needed it, as these guys will be like hornets trying to get around the 2 with fresher tires. Ben Ward gets a great start as well. He's up into the 2nd position. Here comes the 42 as well. That's Kyle Wellman. You got Kyle Smith there battling inside the top 5. Derek Rothling back in the show here. He's up into the 6th spot. And this is a good battle here for second, but there's also a big battle back here for Derek Ruffling as the caution flag flies out on the speedway. Bobby Smith involved, Colin Peterson, and Frank Klein involved. And showing Hunter Lagoons maybe involved as well, as we will take a look at what happens. He gets loose, and oh wow, hard lick by the 13. Take another look here. On board with Colin Peterson. Oh, and the 77 goes up into the outside wall as well. 77 tries to go down. Didn't see the 33 coming so fast. As we'll take a look on board with Frank Klein. That is a pretty good lick. Sorry, we will show you an inboard camera here. Just give us 1 second, we will. On board with Frank Klein. Big lick. Big lick. On board with Colin Peterson. And Bobby Smith. That's where he gets loose. The 14, very lucky not to catch a part of that. And Sean Smith was involved in that accident, and he is down on power, and he was last week's winner. Just caution flag flies again. PJ Popham, Ben Wart, Kyle Wellman, Nick Galusha, and Kyle Smith, your top 5. And from there, you got Derek Roffling, Austin Palmer, Patrick Day, Timmy Lewis, and Trevor Catalano. Looking inside your top 5 right now, none of them have won a race yet in the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. You actually have to go down to 9th position with Patrick Day to find your first winner of the series. So all these guys are in a great spot to clinch themselves into the playoffs. Guys, if you're over on the YouTube channel right now watching live, please hit that like button and hit the follow button. Subscribe to us. We want to see you back here next week on round 10. And then when things really ramp up with the playoffs in the round of 12, that will be a fun one as we are getting set to go back green flag here with the 2 machine. Kyle Wellman got a good start here. He was down on that inside lane, and it kind of worked out for him as Ben Wart didn't get the jump he wanted, and here comes the 42. Kyle Wellman to the inside of the 2. Much newer tires really going to prevail, as he made that look pretty easy. Kyle Smith up into the 3rd position. This is the highest that we've seen the 45 machine. He's going to try to look underneath the 2. Gives him a little bump and gets him loose. And now we're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch. Here comes Austin Palmer, the 23. He's going to bring along the 88 of Derek Roffling. It's a 3-car battle. 3 wide through 3 and 4. As Austin Palmer makes a big-time move to move himself up into the 2nd position. Big move by the 23. Kyle Smith now looking to the inside, and they make contact. contact, and there goes Austin Palmer into the outside wall. Big time problems here in turns number 1 and 2. Things were getting heated. The guys were not given the room. They felt the pressure that they needed to go now. And guys are in some trouble here. Austin Palmer, Kyle Smith started to go around. Maybe holds on to it and is in 5th, but Derek Roffling moves up into the 2nd spot here. Wow. Big time trouble here on this one. These guys are fighting hard for these spots. We'll take another look at it. Here is what caused us to be under caution flag. It's amazing. We did not see more carnage than that. Another look as he's around here. Wow. Take a look. We got an onboard camera of the 2. Take a look at this. Thought he was going to go to the outside, and then it closed the last second. You can tell he's got some damage on that thing. This was Derek Roffling. More time. He just had a lot of speed there as the 45 got loose too in front of him. And not much he could do there. There's one more look here. All right, so a lot happened there as things will continue to ramp up because we still have the top 4 have not won, still have not had a win, so things will get a little crazy here. So do not turn the channel. We are not done with this one yet. Kyle Wellman, Derek Roffling, Ben Wart, and Kyle Smith all looking for a win to bid himself into the playoffs. Trevor Catalano needs a win. Grant Clark, Paul Negus, Chris Miller. Several cars inside the top 10 and needs a win. Here's your last pit stops. Timmy Lewis, he pits. He's got 10 lap fresher tires. Timmy Lewis, Nick Galusha. Tires is very, very important. We have found that one out. We're about to go green flag once again. Patrick Day to the inside of the 88. 88 didn't get going real good there. Patrick Day up into 3rd. Comes the 88 back to the bottom. 24 gets a little loose there on the high side. It's a good battle here. You got Johnny Evans now in the picture in the 14. He's inside the top 5. Still your top three have not had a win yet. Trying to hold back the 14 and the 24 that have won in this series and are automatically into the playoffs. Lap times between your top two are very, very tight. Derek Roffling pretty fast right now, quicker than all of them. Patrick Day kind of falling off the pace a little bit here. Pace might be a little bit too fast for him right now, thinking that he might be using his stuff up. Johnny Evans looking to the inside of Derek Roffling. Not able to complete the pass there. Comes the 88 looking to the inside of the 14 now. 88 going to try to complete the pass here. He's going to slide up, and 14's going to give him just enough room here. 88, 14 side by side. The 14 behind him. So we got two 14s here. You got Johnny Evans on the bottom 14, and the 14 on the outside is Ben Ward. The 88 starts to slide up the track just a little bit again. And 14 on the outside, 88 on the bottom. This is a battle for the second position. 88 would love to be able to clear the 14, as both of these guys need a win. And here comes Johnny Evans, going to look to the inside. Is he going to put his nose down there? No, he's not. 88 is going to get the pass on the 14. He's going to complete it to move Derek Roffling up into the second position. Johnny Evans able to clear the 14, and here comes Timmy Lewis after the 14 of Ben Ward. Johnny Evans now going to try to go to work on the 88. Don't look back here. The 20 car of Nick DeLucia has 10 lap fresher tires than these guys in front of him, so that 20 is on the move. Still, the 42 of Kyle Wellman leads the way. The 14 of Johnny Evans runs third. And the 88 of Derek Roffling runs second right now. Johnny Evans has had a win here before, and he's looking to get a win here again. He's fast here. These boys are going to have to run their best race to hold off that 14 machine. '88 able to hold on to. Here comes Timmy Lewis to the inside of the 14. The 14 got a little loose there in turns two, right on the exit. And the 41 is going to prevail. Let's take a look at the last pit laps, and Timmy Lewis is one of those guys that have fresher tires, and so he's coming after Kyle Wellman on those fresher tires. No way we stay green flag for the rest of this, I don't think. Things will start to heat up on back through here. Can Kyle Wellman hold on to the lead over Timmy Lewis? Nick Lucia is on the way too. He's in fourth. At 1.3 in closing. He's there. Timmy Lewis looking for your race lead over the 42. 42. These two touched last year, and that's what caused the rivalry between the two. How feisty will they get? This season, the 42 has been very kind to the Rat Bastards, and will that be the same here? Now Timmy Lewis looks to the inside. 42 gives a lot of room there through 3 and 4. Timmy Lewis Still trying to get the pass on the 42 of Kyle Wellman. They run side by side still. Nick Galusha is right there. Nick Galusha is one that needs a win to get in, so that'll be a question mark. Timmy Lewis has a win. He's already locked himself in, but his teammate back there, Nick Galusha, has not won. Would he sacrifice a win for his teammate to lock himself into the round of 12? Battle of the Tower is your last lap time, so that'll show you where these guys are running out on the speedway. And that lap there, Nick Galusha was faster than your race leader. Nick Galusha underneath the 42. I mean, you could fit a semi in between them. Two takes out high lane and has the momentum off of 4. 10 more laps around for Timmy Lewis. Timmy Lewis looking to get another win on this series. Nick Galusha not able to get around Kyle Wellman. That's a problem right now. And Nick Galusha not being able to get around him is probably slowing up his speed a little bit here. Timmy Lewis on some rails out there right now. Things have started to spread out throughout much of the race on back through here. See Grant Clark running really well in the 8th spot. Byron Gay coming back in this one. He's in the 9th spot. Paul Negus 10th. Patrick Day back here in 11th. See how high Kyle Wellman runs in 3 and 4. Right up against that wall. Does it really well. It's Ben Wart coming back into the picture. Does he have enough? As he just gets by Nick Galusha there, the 14. We've seen the long green run. The 14 came alive, and now Ben Wart is a little bit quicker than your race leader. But it's not always easy to get around the 42. Will he be able to do it and get by him pretty quickly and chase down your race leader? Oh, the 42 goes down to block on that one. He had been running the high line the entire time, and this time he goes to the bottom side and tries to block. And the 14 is underneath the 42. Nothing you can do now. As the 14 going to look underneath and try to complete the pass here in 1 and 2. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he's not. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch. Buying that there is no caution for the rest of the race. We've only got 4 more laps around this place. It looks like Timmy Lewis is going to walk this one off and win today. Good run by these guys on back in here. The 14 of Ben Wart and Kyle Wellman, Nick Lucia. They all needed a win. Not looking to get that win. Timmy Lewis has had a win and looking to get another win. Couple more trips around here for your race leader, Timmy Lewis. He's going to get the victory. There's nothing crazy that happens here on the last couple laps. It's 2 more trips around for that 41. Good races, though, for Ben Wart there in second, Kyle Wellman third, Nick Lucia fourth, Derek Rothling fifth, Grant Clark in the 6th position, and he may have a chance here to get Derek Rothling here. Trevor Catalano, Byron Gay 8th, Paul Negus 24, Patrick Day. White flag, 1 more lap. Presented by Game Day Rally Gear for the 41 of Timmy Lewis going down the backstretch. Looking to capture another win on the season for Timmy Lewis and help his chances in the playoffs on the exit of 4. Timmy Lewis is going to win here at Chicagoland. Ben Wart will come home second, and Nick Lucia will come home in the 3rd position. Nick Lucia just gets Kyle Wellman there at the line. So your complete rundown there, you see it there on the board. Timmy Lewis wins. Ben Wart 2nd, 3rd, Nick Lucia 4th, Kyle Wellman 5th, Derek Rothling 6th, Grant Clark 7th, Trevor Catalano 8th, Byron Gay 9th, Paul Negus 10th, Patrick Day 11th, Kyle Smith 12th, 12th was Bobby Smith, Johnny Evans 13th, 14th, Brent Butler 15th, Chris Miller 16th, Michael Timmerman 17th, Colin Peterson, Austin Palmer 18th, 19th, PJ Popham 20th, Hunter Lagoons 21st, Frank Klein, Sean Smith 22nd, 23rd, Logan Coe, and 24th, Paul Fly. As he's burning it down with a victory here. We're going to have your top 3 here in just a few moments. All right, we got your top 3 ready to talk. We're going to start with last year's champion, number 20, Nick Lucia. Gets a good finish here, comes home 3rd. Has to feel good, a little bit of momentum here. Maybe trying to get in on points. You still have a chance to get in on points, especially whenever you finish like you did tonight. Take us through that race. What's it feel like to, get yourself a podium finish?
It finally feels good. This year's been a little rough. I don't know, the tracks have just not worked out in my favor. And I had a miss 2 races earlier this year, which kind of set me back early. But yeah, just trying to battle in on points. I was hoping for a win there, but with like 85 to go when Johnny spun there, that kind of, I only had 2 sets of tires from there, and it was kind of very tire dominant race. So unfortunately I kind of ran out of tire, but took my last set, and then we didn't have a caution from there.
Well, you got that 3rd place finish, maybe what you need. Coming into Darlington next week, do you feel like you need to win to get in, or do you think just having a solid finish at Darlington could be crazy?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that race is going to bring. I mean, usually I'm pretty good there, so hopefully I can just run up front and then just get a solid finish and then maybe sneak in by points, but I wouldn't be mad with a win.
Congratulations on the 3rd place finish. You led a couple laps today, several laps actually, and en route to a 3rd place finish. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Darlington.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right, we're going to talk to the 2nd place finisher tonight. That is the 14 of Ben Wart. Ben, you came on strong there late. I think you probably were hoping that we seen a little bit longer green flag run as you started to come alive there at the end. But man, Timmy Lewis had a pretty good lead, and nobody was really going to catch him there. Overall, a 2nd place finish, how's it feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Obviously, we're definitely hoping for the win there. Yeah, I noticed Timmy made a pit stop there on the final caution that we had, and initially I thought that was the wrong call from him. I thought that wasn't going to work out, but obviously it didn't. So in hindsight, I probably should have done the same thing. But yeah, still a good run. Just needed a caution there, either at the end or, like you were saying, a longer green flag run before that.
Yeah, we definitely seen that fresh tires was a key. We seen a huge difference in just 5 laps on tires. Made a huge difference on time, and ultimately that really paid out for the 41. Nick Galusha had some fresher tires, but was just not able to get up there. 41 comes home victory. Get yourself a 2nd place finish. We're going to be coming into Darlington for the final round. What is it going to take? Do you feel that you're going to have to get that win? And if so, what do you think? Darlington? Is there a chance?
I mean, I like Darlington. I think it's definitely one I can win at, as long as we don't get caught up in incidents. It's definitely easy to there with it being such a narrow track. But yeah, I think it's at this point probably going to take a win to get in. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in just on points alone.
All right. Well, you heard it from him. He's going to have to try to put all of his cards on the table, and he's going to have to go for it. Go for broke is what they say at Darlington. We'll see you there. It's going to be a fun one. A lot of guys are going to have to try to push their way to victory lane to find themselves into the playoffs. Congratulations again on the 2nd place finish. We'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, and your race winner again for this season, Timmy Lewis gets it done in the 41 machine. You go in, get fresh tires. Some guys thought, no way. That was not the right call. You decided that was the right call. Ultimately, it was the right call. Was that a decision that you knew that you were going to make early in on this race?
Honestly, no, not at all. I kind of just all of a sudden was like, I should probably just go in here and get tires. Maybe, hopefully, it'll go green to the end, and then it somehow just paid off for me for once, actually. And I'm kind of glad, because it's nice to hear again to be in the winner's circle again. So
absolutely gets the win. So you've got a lot of momentum. You and Patrick Day, both, a 2-time winner in the series. So that really helps you going into the playoffs in the round of 12. You've got yourself locked in, so no worries there. But hey, we've got one more race that you could potentially win, and that is Darlington, and that's going to be a fun one. What do you anticipate we'll see there at Darlington?
I think it's going to be an interesting race for sure. Definitely a lot of cautions probably at first until most people kind of figure it out and figure out how to race around everyone and stuff. But it's a fun track, very interesting. Most people who don't really know what Darlington is or have ever seen it, it's a very different track. So I think it'll be fun. I think you'll see some guys that maybe don't normally run up front might be closer up front, or vice versa, something like that. So I know I personally am going to struggle there. I'm not very good, so I'm a little worried about that. But all in all, it'll still be fun. I've just been kind of quiet this year and just doing my thing and coming out every week and hoping for the best and finally actually paying off. So.
Well, man, there was a lot of chances for some guys that could have got a win and locked themselves into the playoffs. At one time, the top 7 hadn't won, and that's what they were trying to get to. It was a fight up there, but ultimately we have a repeat winner, and that is Timmy Lewis. He gets victory lane. Congratulations again on the win. We'll see you next week at Darlington before we have our little break, and we hit the playoffs. Congratulations once again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And thank you for everything that you do every week. Obviously, it's super fun, and I know I like watching it after and going back and seeing it all, so I just want to know we all appreciate what you do.
We appreciate it, Timmy. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we have here at Chicago. Timmy Lewis gets back in victory lane again, and he only helps his chance in the playoffs. Him and Patrick Day looking pretty strong here. And what will happen next week at Darlington? That's going to be a fun one. We will be live right here, same time on Wednesday night. We'll go live at 6:45 for the Countdown the Green show with Patrick Day and Chris Miller. But from all of us here on the Tarmac Esports Network, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.